And one for me. Waiter. Waiter, where are you? Waiter, the service here stinks. Waiter, where the hell are you, huh? Uh, oh, hi. Christopher Gomez here with a very special unboxing video. And this one is a tribute to the first Godzilla movie that I ever saw. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that I rearranged some items in my apartment for the sake of this video. And basically what this tribute video is going to entail is an unboxing of an item that I received in the mail and my recollections of when I first saw this movie, what I thought of it, how it's changed the trajectory of my life, and yeah, there's play a little music from the movie. I can't play you actual audio from the movie because of copyright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of a medley from the movie and perform Raymond Burr's monologue towards the end of the film. Of course, I'm probably I'm gonna ham it up a little bit for the sake of this video, but yeah, it should be fun. So, Godzilla 1985, the American cut. I'm gonna put my no, sit right here for a little bit so you could see the poster that I have in the background. So Godzilla 1985 was the first Godzilla movie that I ever saw, and I was about 4 years old. And yeah, you have to remember, back in the 80s, it was kind of an event, an outing for you and your family to go to your local video store or to a Tower Records or Music Plus, where you can buy or rent, music and videos, get tickets and stuff. And I remember, seeing commercials for Universal Studios' attraction of King Kong that was, going to come out next summer. And then all of a sudden, I was really excited about that. And then all of a sudden I started seeing commercials for this movie, Godzilla 1985. And, and I remember everything too. I remember the Dr. Pepper commercials that came out, to tie in with the film. And my family and I, we were living in El Monte, a suburb of Southern California. We drove out to Tower Records in West Covina, which was adjacent to the West Covina Mall. And we got 3 movies to rent from the new releases section. And those movies were Ghostbusters, The Goonies, and Godzilla 1985. I think we may have rented The Goonies later, but I know for sure that we rented Ghostbusters and Godzilla 1985 in the same night for sure. And it's interesting that all of those movies start with the letter G. Anyway, so we rented Ghostbusters and Godzilla 1985, took it back home, and the first movie that we popped in was Godzilla. And I remember that evening, my father was lying on the floor with his head, hands resting on the back of his head, and there was a very tense moment in the movie. Now, you have to remember, too, that this particular movie ignores all of the Godzilla movies from the 60s and 70s that were, to put it discreetly, they catered to a more juvenile audience. And then finally this movie comes out. It's kind of like, the 60s and 70s were the Adam West Batman TV series, and Godzilla 1985 was kind of like Tim Burton's Batman, or Dark Knight Returns. And Godzilla 1985 was in a way kind of like the Halloween H2O of Godzilla movies, because it ignored everything and was a direct sequel only to the original movie. And in this particular film, it was a direct sequel to the American cut of the original Godzilla movie. So they brought back Raymond Burr to reprise his role from that movie. And he was playing reporter Steve Martin. and in the movie they call him Steven or Mr. Martin because they didn't want to confuse him with Steve Martin from Saturday Night Live. So anyway, so this movie was a much darker, grim version of Godzilla that was much closer in tone to the first movie. And so there was a very tense moment where, my father was lying on the ground, really into the movie, and it was the scene where a Soviet sub they caught something on their sonar, or radar sonar, and the Soviet sub was diving deeper. And my mom was in the kitchen making us egg salad sandwiches. And she actually came out of the kitchen to ask, my dad if he wanted anything else on the sandwich. And my father was so focused into the movie that he told my mom, Lily, shh, I'm watching the movie. Something to that effect. But I remember it. And, I was 4 years old. This was my first exposure to Godzilla. So my first impression of the creature was the correct one. So throughout most of the movie, I'm both fascinated and not exactly terrified, but there was something kind of scary about this version of Godzilla. But by the end of the movie, I don't want to say I was in tears. I definitely was sad. I was in tears because they found a way to defeat the monster, and there was sad music playing, and Raymond Burr had this really cool speech at the end of the movie. But I could go on for hours about why this is one of my favorite Godzilla movies, and it all has to do with the fact that they actually took a serious tone to this film. And again, I can go on for hours about why I think this film works and why I think it's underrated. But there are three videos actually that I recommend that I will put in the links. I will put the links down below in the description that you can go check out. One of them is by a YouTuber named Dave McRae, who is quite popular within the Halloween community. He does a lot of videos where he, talks about the Halloween movie series and horror in general. And he actually did a couple of videos praising Godzilla 1985. And his experience watching the movie was much similar to my experience, where he's a little older than I am, but we're within the same age bracket. But yeah, check it out. I'll put the link down below, and everything that he says about the movie echoes my sentiments about the movie. And also, he just check out his page in general. He and his buddy, they just did a really good fan film which is a sequel to Black Christmas called It's Me, Billy. And I saw the trailer for this, and it is just outstanding. It should debut online around May 28th, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely check it out. They worked really hard on this film. It looks like a legit movie. They used professional equipment. They, had a crew, everything. Go check out It's Me, Billy by Dave McRae and Bruce Dale. And check out his video concerning Godzilla 1985. Another video is by, I believe, Up From the Depths. They did a review on Godzilla 1985, both versions of this film. And so yeah, Dave McRae is a professional voiceover artist from Toronto, Canada, praising Godzilla 1985. And then another YouTuber who's also Canadian his name is Brandon Tenold. He does Brandon's Cult Movies. He did a really good review of Godzilla 1985, which was kind of it was a humorous take on why the movie didn't resonate with critics. He was bashing the critics that were bashing this movie, because his review also praises this film and shows why it's underrated, and he criticizes the critics that criticize this movie, especially Leonard Maltin. So check that out. Again, I'll put that in the links below. And speaking of Canadians, the version that I'm going to talk about is the American cut starring Raymond Burr, who is Canadian. And to the uninitiated, this movie came out in Japan in 1984 as The Return of Godzilla, or just Godzilla 1984. And New World Pictures got the distribution rights to, distribute the movie here in theaters and add in some scenes with Raymond Burr. And it was Raymond Burr. There was word that they were going to make a parody. They were going to re-edit the movie into a parody. And Raymond Burr was the one that pretty much told the filmmakers, look, I'm not going to come back if you guys are going to make fun of the movie. So he actually, he took Godzilla serious, and he did an interview with Bob Costas where he actually liked Godzilla and what the creature represented. So, yeah, the American cut was issued as Godzilla 1985. And believe it or not, that was the version that I grew up watching. That was the version that was the only one available at the time. Believe it or not, there's actually a few things in that movie, in that version, in that cut of the movie, that I actually prefer over the Japanese cut. Now, overall, in a general sense, the Japanese version is the superior version, and there's actually more footage of Godzilla that they cut out for some reason. But there's a few edits in the American cut that I think was an improvement. For one, the opening title sequence is better in the American cut. The idea that they brought back Raymond Burr is really cool. And I gotta say, the ending of the American cut, I believe, is better than the Japanese cut. It ends with Raymond Burr's speech, and in the Japanese version, Godzilla does let out this higher registered version of his roar as he falls into the volcano. Spoiler alert. And over the credits, there's a pop song called Goodbye Godzilla, which it does and doesn't go well with it. It does and doesn't fit with the movie. It does at times, but anyways, I digress. So in the American cut, they re-edited Godzilla's screech, and instead he has this ear-piercing, painful screech that just, kind of tugs at your heartstrings, for monster fans out there. And instead of using that pop song, they cut to black, and they use the music that was used in the movie, which it just seemed a little more serious that way. But yeah, so without further ado, I am going to unbox an item pertaining to Godzilla 1985. Now, I did do a previous video, or I did shoot a previous video where I was unboxing a lot of items, a lot of Godzilla 1985 items, and I just thought I'd redo it. I didn't like how it came out, so I'm doing it again. I'm going to show you some of the items that I got in the mail, and then I'm going to unbox the new item, and talk a little bit about some of that stuff. Now, if you can see, I don't know if you can see in the background, but I have framed an original poster of Godzilla 1985 that I got at a record store in Balboa Beach that no longer exists. Now, the way that you could tell that it is an original poster from the 80s is that back then, they didn't roll their posters. They folded them into squares. And this poster still has some of its creases in the middle. And I have framed the Japanese poster, and if pointing right there, I got a Godzilla calendar, and on my the page that had my birthday, February 8th, just so happened to use the Godzilla 1985 poster. So I thought that was cool. There's the large Imperial plastic Godzilla toy that they made back in the 80s. I found that one at G Fest. And on the screen is a Polish Blu-ray that I got of Godzilla 1985. The other thing too is that this particular cut of the movie was never released for whatever. There's reasons why, but it was never released on DVD or Blu-ray officially here in the United States. So the only way that I was able to get it was by getting a Blu-ray from Poland. The reason why it's never been officially released on DVD or Blu-ray is because there's such a it's such a legal mess. It has to do with the fact that Toho owns the rights to Godzilla. They don't want that version to be released. I heard rumors that Raymond Burr's estate didn't want that movie to be released. There's issues with the music. At some points in the movie, they use music from another movie, DEFCON 4, which was scored by Christopher Young. And you have to remember too that movie studios, they own the music for their films. The composer doesn't own his own music that he composes for the film. The studio does. So there's issues there. New World Pictures no longer exists. There's all kinds of legal hoops that they have to jump through. I'm going to drink a little bit of this water before I do that monologue. Sorry, I just revealed that it was water. It's really sake. Or is it? So without further ado, is there anything else? Yeah. Oh, and up there is a really cool figure from, I believe it's NECA, of Godzilla 1985, but I chose to get it online as opposed to in person because it came with a really cool box of that has the poster art for the Japanese version. Now, I noticed a subtle difference between the Japanese poster and the American poster. I love the American poster. But I noticed that in the American poster, he's a little bit brighter, and I think they've enlarged his nostrils, but I think he looks more menacing because in the Japanese poster, he looks a little bit more muzzled. I'm probably overlooking it, but I'm gonna grab some of my stuff here to show off. This was the Blu-ray that I got, and as you can see, I love that poster art. I'm getting a shadow here. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah, and I changed the cover art because it came with different cover art. So, let's see what else I have here. Godzilla 1985 mouse pad that I got in Little Tokyo. And this was something that I made. A Godzilla 1985 mug. Got the mug at, I believe, like Goodwill or no, Dollar Tree, 99 cents, one of those. But I got a Godzilla 1985 sticker that I put on there to make it look official. And it's really cool. Godzilla 1985 t-shirt. And I love how he looks in the movie. He looks, I love how in Godzilla 1985 and King Kong 76, for whatever reason, those two iterations of those characters, they look ferocious. And for whatever reason, they've never been able to duplicate that. They've kind of shied away from the grim look of those characters. I don't know. My favorite designs of Godzilla are 1985 and 1989, and they've never. They just subsequently they never looked as good as those designs. This was a, I guess you could say, coffee cup that I made that you can put your own design, and I did a Godzilla 1985 coffee cup. And what else? Oh yeah, some cool stuff. Now this, is there anything in this one? No. Let's see, trash, where did it go? There we go. So, binder. Is it in here? No, it's not. It's a Godzilla pin. And let's see. Oh, you can see her back there, but I've got the Monopoly game, which features the Godzilla 1985 look. Right over here is an original VHS of Godzilla 1985. Why am I getting shadow? Oh, for some reason I'm getting shadow. And this was the original VHS that was issued back then in the 80s, which came with the greatest cartoon to ever grace the screen, Bambi Meets Godzilla, playing right before the movie starts. Check it out. I really hate that shadow. Why am I getting shadow? I think it's from the phone. Anyways, and let's see, do I have anything else? Where did I put them at? I had some really cool tin posters of Godzilla 1985 that was, it was like it was of the same image of the poster, but it had the text saying, "There goes the neighborhood." And for whatever reason, I like that poster better because it has, it just feels more classy. And I think that's it. I don't know what happened to, is it in here maybe? I really wanted to show it. Oh, here it is. We're probably going to get glare on it though. It's beautiful. And I have a tin version of this. Yeah, too bad I'm getting that glare. Yeah, it's behind plastic, so I'm going to get some glare on it. Do I have that? Here is the tin. Hopefully this will turn out better. It's beautiful looking tin. Really hate that shadow. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, now onto the pinnacle of this video, the unboxing or unbagging, if you will. Trusty scissors. I want to apologize for this video being so long, but it's, you know, it's kind of a big deal because saw Godzilla 1985 when I was 4, and it made me a lifelong Godzilla fan, to the point where I got to be involved in a very small extent, I got to be involved in one of the legendary films as an extra, and got to form professional relationships with some of the mocap actors. So that's, you know, really cool. And I got to write about being part of that movie in an issue of G-Fan magazine. So here we go. This is I guess you could say a lunch bag with the Godzilla 1985 image. And I'm going to take a separate photo, you know, post them on my Instagram, you know, all laid out in a nice display. But let's see if I can get the plastic off. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some of these items within this bag. That way, you know, my place won't look too cluttered. And, there we go. That looks really cool. I know why I'm getting shadow. It's because the book's holding the phone. Anyways. Cool. Now I can put the little coffee mug in here and other stuff, and yeah, maybe put the NECA figure in here too. I don't know. It fits. The NECA figure would probably fit perfectly. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I apologize for this being a long video. I'm gonna close it by doing a little bit of a medley of some of the music from the movie, and perform some of Raymond Burr's monologue. Again, I'm probably gonna ham it up a little bit for the sake of entertainment. But yeah, here we go. Nature has a way sometimes of reminding man of just how small he really is. She occasionally throws up the terrible offspring in the wake of our pride and carelessness to remind us of how puny we really are in the face of a tornado, an earthquake, or a Godzilla. The reckless ambitions of man are often dwarfed by their terrible consequences. For now, Godzilla, that strangely innocent and tragic monster, has gone to Earth. Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain. Thank you guys for watching. There is a video where I do play this music and recite that monologue in a much more audible fashion where I don't mess up. But thank you for sitting through all of this. And yeah, take care. Have a good night.